Joshi ji. Sheetal, are you able to reach him?
भ्रुकुटी महल चढ़ देख पियारे, जागे ज्योति अपारा। ओम सोहम सोहम जपते जपते पहुँचो दशमें द्वारा। ओम मेरुदंड में बंकनाल है, उल्टी गंगा।
You got unmuted, I think. Krishna ji, I think.
प्रणवयान से ऊंचा चढ़कर सुखमणिगढ़ में जावे। ओम तन का भान भुला के वहां से सोहम गावे। ओम वहां से ऊंचा बेहद ऊंचा ब्रह्म शिखर पे जावे। ओम ओम ध्वनि से चढ़ते चढ़ते निश्चल घुमरी आवे। ओम अपने आप अपने में निर्विकल्प निर्वाणी। ओम शिवानंद गुरु केवल चेतन निजानंद आनंदी। ओम भ्रुकुटी महल चढ़ देख पियारे, जागे ज्योति अपारा। ओम सोहम जपते जपते पहुँचो दशमें द्वारा। ओम पहुँचो दशमें द्वारा। ओम पहुँचो दशमें द्वारा। ओम
So, Suprabhat to everybody. I have a small job to do, Anand Balayogi ji, and then I hand it over to you. There are a few things which I need to very clearly put forth. Without that, I'm not going to read out your biodata because biodata is so big that it will be, I think, plus an hour itself. Okay, so that's not my job. Anybody can, go on Google and see your biodata. And one of my teachers way back had said, that biodata is the past. Okay, biodata is what all the person has done in the past. You are seeing a loving, living individual in front of you. So that is the most important thing for us. For us, what somebody has done in life has weightage, agreed, nobody doubts that. But right now, a bubbling young person with a fantastic tika on the forehead, with the Ajna Chakra aroused, is going to address us. Is that not more important? Two things I will sparkingly and categorically put forth, and then I will hand over. It's the first time that I have been repeating this couple of times. People by now possibly have made that a slogan. When I first met Anand Balayogi ji in the year 2018 at the conference at my parent institute at Kaivalidham, the first opening statement that he made, that people in the name of yoga are wearing yogic clothes and doing physiotherapy. Okay. For an audience of 3,000 people, and then whatever recording and the number of people who have seen all that, somewhere it gave me a feeling that here is a person who is talking truth straight away, irrespective of the platform that is being used. The second foremost thing that I have very tremendous respect is that he says, what do you mean by copyright? What the hell is this bloody copyright? Huh? Did Patanjali take a copyright? And what does copyright at all do? It keeps things, away from most of the people. So best is let there be copy left. This is another statement which I have made a Bible of mine. That Ananda Balayogi ji says there is what is there? Copyright has no meaning. Let it go, let it spread to the length and the breadth of the world for people to enjoy what yoga is all about. I'm going to do a bit of analysis of his name. Okay, I'm not a name analytic expert or a future teller or a fortune teller. But if you read Dr. Ananda Balayogi Bhavanani, okay, if you read the whole thing, it's very interesting. What does a doctor do? He heals you. He treats you. He makes you better than from where you are. So that is doctor, okay, with all his medical background. Then you have Ananda, okay. Now, healing and Ananda and Bala, innocence personified, fantastic, and a yogi, and a most practical person with a business acumen because he's Bhavanani. The bhav is there, but that, bit of that Sindhi touch to it.
You have to unmute yourself. Somehow you got muted, G.
Pendseji sir, you have to unmute yourself.
Pendseji आप muted हो गए हैं.
I don't know what happened. Anyway, so what was missed, I don't know, but I hope most of it has gone through. Well, that's it. So we have a doctor, we have Ananda, we have the innocence, we have the yogi in him, and we have the business acumen dimension in the. It keeps saying host has muted you. So anyway, over to you, Dr. Saab. So we once again welcome, and you are through with your prayers and whatever the way you would like it. And just keep the last 10 minutes or so for us. And we will see that we free you by 7:25 because 7:30 you have to go out for shopping or whatever it is to buy basics to be part of the life that you are into. Yes, sir.
Namaste, Namaskaram, Vanakkam, Vandanam, Swagatam, Shubdinam, Bonjour, Buongiorno, Buonasera, Buonanotte. All these different time zones that we are all in. And yet the beauty of being online together in the e-satsanga, the e-zoom, womb, is that we are all in the same place at the same time. We may be in different continents, we may be in different places, yet we can all come together at the same place, at the same time for the same purpose. And this is a gift of these trying times, times that are really trying us physically, mentally, emotionally, socially, financially, and even spiritually. Times that are showing us what it is to be pulled tight and stretched beyond our limits of comfort. In such a time, I get an opportunity to meet all of you, thanks to my dear Uday ji. Uday ji and I, as he said, we met for the first time in 2018, but it seems like we have known each other for a few lifetimes. And there are people you meet, and the years you have known them in this lifetime may not be much, but the years you know them in many a lifetime are much more. His dedication to yoga, his dedication to the parampara of Kaivalya Dharma, and especially the teachings of his direct teacher, Dr. M.P. Bole, someone who I have always looked up to as a big brother in some ways, a big uncle in other ways, a mentor who we all lost recently. Saluting Dr. Bole at this time, thanking Udayji for his beautiful introduction. The only thing I would contest in that is the business acumen, because the Sindhi part of me doesn't really know the light of the day too much. So I'm always struggling with the business side, and even my kids, they wonder about it, because the moment anyone helps me, I'm so happy because it means I can help others. And the moment I get a raise at my work, it's not too often, okay? But yes, the moment I get a raise at work, I'm like, well, I have a bit more money to help a few more people. And not just financially, but physically, spiritually. The more we have, the more responsibility we have to share. The gifts that we are given are gifts not for our keeping, but for our sharing. And that is why I believe that this whole idea of copywriting, trademarking, patenting, I feel it is wrong ethically, because I feel that it may be right financially. It may make logistical sense to the modern human mind. But to the greater mind, it says that, well, what is it that truly we are creating? And if you ask that question very honestly, it's actually nothing. Because everything in the universe is already created. Everything already exists. What we are doing is shining the light on those areas that are dark in our consciousness and finding things that were already in existence, but we didn't know because our consciousness was not bright enough to see it. And as our consciousness becomes brighter, which is what yoga is all about, that Jyoti that is there, the Antara Jyoti, the inner luminosity, the inner luminescence starts to shine forth. If you look at Maharishi Patanjali's statement, through pranayama, what are you doing? Prakasha avaranam. Removing all that was covering the light. The light is not a new light to copyright. The light is not a new light. Please remember that. The light is already pre-existent. The light is already pre-existent. All we are doing is removing that which was blocking the light. Prakasha avaranam. And he again tells us in the Vibhuti Pada that when we start to understand the non-physical, bahira akalpita vrittihi, when you can start to understand the unmanifest, again the same thing happens. Prakasha avaranam is removed. So in both the statements, one of the statements which is coming in the Sadhana Pada regarding Pranayama, the second statement in the Vibhuti Pada regarding the Siddhis, he makes it very clear that the luminescence, the luminosity is pre-existent. The light is already shining. The sun is there. Now, I always like to give very simple, understandable examples because my mind is very simple. Keep it simple, as they say. I love Einstein because he said, if you understand it, you keep it simple. And the more people complicate things, it means the less they understand it. How I like to understand this is, some of you are in North America. Some of you may be down under in Australia and New Zealand. And many of us are here in India. For some of us, the sun is just coming up. Here in India, the sun is just coming up. So we say, Suryodayam. As Yesudas, the great singer, South India, he would go, Suryodayam, with the deep voice. Suryodayam, the rising of the sun. Udaya of sun. Like Udayji, Udaya of the sun, the rising of the sun. Now, for those in North America, and I see my dear Bharata, Valananda and others there, Aishwarya is also there, Gurleen is there. For them, the sun is now setting or whatever, close to setting time, because approximately 12 hours is the difference, day and night, between North America and India. For them, the sun is setting and soon it may be dark. And when it's dark, if you ask anyone, where is the sun? They'll say the sun has set. The sun has set. We are saying the sun which had set and had gone away at night is now coming up. The sun has risen. So depending on where we are physically on this planet, we say there is a sunrise, there is a sunset. It is high noon. High noon, when only dogs and Englishmen go out. That is what they used to say, in the middle of the day. And then we say there's midnight. But you know what? Despite all of this make-believe, the sun is always shining. The sun is always giving out light. The sun is not rising. The sun is not setting. The sun is not at its peak. The sun is not disappeared. The sun is always there. The light is always there. The luminosity is always there. And that is why the whole purpose of yoga, according to Maharishi Patanjali, my dear Maharishi Patanjali, lovingly I call him Superman Pat. He's a Superman, Superman Pat. That would be his modern superhero identity. Along with his mutant X-Men identity, which is Snake Man. Maharishi Patanjali is very clear. He says, Yoganga Anushtanat Ashuddhikshaye Jnanadipti Aviveka Kyatehe. The whole purpose of all the limbs of yoga, Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhaya, Ashtau Angani, the 8 limbs of yoga, why do they exist? Ashuddhikshaye, remove all the impurities. All that is not needs to be removed. Ashuddhikshaye. Then the Jnana Deepti, the inner luminescence is bright. Why it was not bright? It was covered with all the nonsense, all the junk. All the junk was covering the treasure that lies within. And at that moment, the higher discerning intellect, Viveka Kyate, which can know the real from the unreal, it starts to awaken in us, or rather we awaken to that higher consciousness that is endowed with Viveka Kyat. So when we talk about yoga, we are talking about something which is timeless, something which is blemishless. Yoga itself is blemishless. It is timeless. It is ego-less. It is copyright-less. It is patent-less. Because it is like the sun, it is shining forth. But at times, it seems like the sun is not there. Or it seems like it is sunrise. Or it seems like it is sunset. And we start to get uptight. Yoga is in danger. Stand up for yoga. The soon to be announced news is we are working on a 40-page ebook on standing up for yoga. It's coming out soon, based on one of my recent talks on culturally appropriate yoga. We'll give you the good news soon on that. We say, I have to stand up for yoga. I have to go out and fight the good battle for yoga. Udayji is the one. He said, I want a bit of gangster yogi. Huh? And so gangster yogi gets upset. He comes out with his black cap and dark glasses. I should have brought them up from downstairs there in Amma's room. Amma is the original gangster yogini. Recently, our lawyer of close to 50 years, is one of the senior most counsels in Chennai, he wrote to me. He said, your mother is such an inspiration. Imagine when your lawyer can say that, okay? Who knows all your dark secrets, who knows everything about you, and he says, your mother is an inspiration. When your lawyer can say it, well, you don't need anybody else's certificate. We think we have to stand up for yoga. We have to fight the battle for yoga because yoga is in danger. And yoga herself, for me, yoga is the Divine Mother. She is like, why are you getting so upset about it? All is well. As Amir Khan and others sing in Three Idiots, all is well. For yoga, all is well. Because yoga is so big, yoga is the ocean. It's just a few people drinking the water, a few people diverting the water and claiming it is theirs. This is what we people do. We claim ownership over the land, the water, and who are we to claim ownership? The land, the water belongs to Earth. Planet Earth is not for our ownership. We have made a big mistake as the human race. We think we own planet Earth. We don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. That could be a good song. We don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. We don't own nothing. Nothing. And maybe then people will start to understand it. You need another Michael Jackson, we don't know nothing. We don't know nothing. And then everybody will be very happy about it because then they will follow it. We don't own anything, I'll tell you that. We are blessed as a human race to be here at a certain point of time to take care of this planet. We are not the owners. We are to be loving caretakers. And yet, we put our flag on different parts of land. And there are idiots who are putting flags down at the bottom of the Arctic. The bottom of the Arctic. Now that it's all melting, they're very happy. They can get more oil. Instead of getting worried about the polar caps melting, we want to put flags at the bottom of the Arctic and say, this belongs to me, this belongs to me, this belongs to me. And what are you going to take when you die? Nothing. When you leave this body, you take nothing with you physically. But your samskaras and vasanas and karma continue. You cannot take your money with you. You cannot take your property with you. You cannot take all your loved ones with you. Please don't. They have their own life to live, okay? Don't. Just because your life is ending doesn't mean you take them with you. You cannot take anything with you. Physically, materialistically. You cannot take any copyright and patent with you. It doesn't, in the heavens or hell, wherever you go, they're not going to ask you, how many copyrights did you make and how many patents do you have and how much money did you make? No. The question will be, you were sent to this earth as a human being. Have you lived your purpose of being a human being? That is the question. And that is what yoga is all about, enabling us to fulfill our purpose of being, which is our purushartha, which is our dharma. To fulfill the dharma for which we are born. And what is that dharma? Lord Krishna and the Bhagavad Gita. See, if you just need two things, Yoga Sutra and Bhagavad Gita. Yoga Sutra to understand yoga in its complete wholesome perspective. And as Udayji recently said, there's no question in the Yoga Sutra. It is all, this is iti. There's no koham and all in the Yoga Sutra. Very clear. Iti. Patanjali is saying this is. Whether you like it or not, this is. The original gangster yogi, he says, this is. You don't like it, it's your problem. This is iti. Where is it? Now. Ata. This is. Where is it? Now. Now, who does it depend on? You putting in your effort. Very simple. Patanjali is very clear. But Lord Krishna is more interested in saying who is a yogi. He also says what is yoga, but he is very interested in saying who is a yogi. Patanjali says that's not my work. This is yoga. Follow it, don't follow it, your business. No option yoga. Either you follow it or not. I leave it to you. But Lord Krishna tells Arjuna, and everybody says, yes, Arjuna who lived 5,000 years ago. No. Not that Arjuna. Each one of us is Arjuna. Each one of us is an Arjuna, and Krishna is the pure consciousness that is guiding us. Guiding our chariot in which we are riding. This chariot in which we are riding is guided by pure consciousness. Krishna is guiding Arjuna. Our consciousness is guiding us. And what does Krishna tell Arjuna? He says, be thou a yogi. Tasmad yogi bhavarjunaha. Tasmad yogi bhavarjunaha. Be thou a yogi, Arjuna. That is the clarion call that is given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. That is the clarion call given by our pure consciousness to each and every one of us. Be thou a yogi. Tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi jnanibhyo apimadhodikah karmabhyaschadiko yogi tasmad yogi bhavarjunaha. Higher than tapasvi. Tapasvibhyo adhiko yogi jnanibhyo apimadhodikah. Even greater than the jnani. Karmabhyaschadiko yogi, greater than the karmi also. Tasmad yogi bhavarjunaha. For God's sake, Arjuna, be a yogi. What does it mean to be a yogi? Because if we are to carry the torch of yoga and keep that fire going, we need to be worthy of it. We have to have the yogyata. Yogyata is the worthiness. As Maharishi Patanjali tells us, even to contemplate dharana, which is the first of samyama, the inner part of yoga, the antaranga samyama. He says, even for dharana, you need to be fit. All of us want directly samadhi. We want a shortcut to samadhi. We need to be fit to concentrate, first of all. He says, through pranayama, sadhana, dharana sucha yogyata manasaha. Your mind attains the fitness for dharana through pranayama. Without pranayama, your mind will not be fit even to concentrate, let alone to meditate and let alone to get absorbed in samadhi. That is the importance of pranayama sadhana. Neglected in the modern world. Neglected in the modern world where asana has become is equal to yoga. Asana is equal to yoga. Bas, itna ho gaya, it has become this much. So when people talk about yoga, they are talking about asana. And so you have people, very big advertisement. We will teach you yoga and pranayama. Yoga and pranayama. I'm like, seriously. It means you don't even know what an ocean yoga is. You have diverted a little bit of water from the ocean into your puddle. And in that puddle, you have yoga and then you have pranayama. Same thing, yoga and meditation. It's become so popular that if you don't use it, people think you are not in the in. You are not up to date because you are not teaching yoga and meditation. Udayji will teach yoga. In that yoga, everything is there. Yoga is all encompassing. Within yoga, everything is there. It's the ocean, everything is there. You say, is it Pacific Ocean or Atlantic Ocean? Pacific and Atlantic are names given by us stupid human beings. The ocean is one. There is a beautiful image on the net. What the world looks like from a fish perspective. And it is a map of all the waters connected. And land is just the big boundary. Our map is land separated by water. The fish's perspective is water everywhere bounded by land. What a beautiful perspective. All water is one. And then we want to divide it and we want to claim ownership. I think this whole idea of claiming ownership is where we have made a mistake as a human race. Because we said, this is my land and that is your land. This is my water and that is your water. And then multinational companies come in, big corporations, and buy out water. They buy out water. We actually sell water to these companies and then they package that water and sell it back to us at a profit. Now, if this is not insane, I don't know what is insane. Water that should be free for all. Land should be free for all. What have we done? We have boxed things in. And the same thing has happened in yoga. Yoga and pranayama, yoga and meditation. No. It is all one. It's like all the waters are one. All of these practices, all these concepts, all these life-enhancing techniques, life-enhancing concepts, life-enhancing spiritual gems are all one. Lord Krishna again goes on to say, who is this yogi? He says a yogi is not someone who does yoga. That definition is not Krishna's definition. That is the modern definition. You're in a yoga class, you become a yogi. You have just bought a 1-month subscription to a yoga class and you are now yogi. You're not even started to practice. You're already a yogi because you have bought a 1-month subscription. Downright stupidity. That's what it is. Downright stupidity. And the teacher will come to class and says, all my dear yogis. What a drama we are enacting. Lord Krishna is very clear. He defines a yogi. He says, Yada hi nendriyateshu na karmasu anushajjate sarva sankalpa samniyasi yoga ruda tata uchyate. He says a yogi is one who, when does one become a yogi? Yada hi, at the point when na indriyateshu, they are not caught up in the sensory objects and the way the senses are entangled with them. The web of the senses and the sensory object, it is a net. Just as the fish is caught in the net, just as the wild animal is caught in its trap, we are entangled in the trap of the sensory apparatus and its interconnectiveness with the things of the world. Yadahi nendriyateshu. So you have entangled yourself, and the yogi is one who has disentangled themselves. You are disentangling yourself from the web. You are finding a way out of the web. And the second one, Nendriyateshu, na indriyateshu. Karmasu anusajjate. Na karmasu anusajjate. You are not bound by the karma. Why are you not bound by karma? Because there is no karma. If there is no karma, there is no karma. Karma is what is leading to karma. What is karma? Desire. The moment desire is there in anything, you have become bound by it. That is why Lord Shiva, the Yogeshwar, the Adi Yogi, he has to burn karma with the third eye. The third eye is the eye of discernment. Viveka, Vairagya, that is the third eye. He has to burn karma because unless karma is burned, you cannot eradicate karma. That is why again Krishna has suggested your action should be nishkama. Nishkama karma. Karmanyevadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma palahetu bhurmate sangosta karma. You have to understand to do the action without the attachment to the action. So just as you are disentangling yourself from the web of the senses and the sensory objects, you are detaching. Now the word detach sounds very painful. So let's say you are disentangling yourself from your attachment to action. Vairagya is often translated as detachment. It sounds very impersonal. Non-attachment is a better word. You have decided to keep a gap. Viyoga. Again, Krishna gives us an answer. He says, all of this is dukkha. Buddha also says the same thing. Everything is dukkha. Maharishi Patanjali also says, dukkhameva sarvam vivekinaha. All of this is dukkha. We are going and attaching to our dukkha, thinking it to be sukha. In our ignorance, in our avidya, we are attaching to the dukkha and saying, oh, this is my sukha, this is my sukha. No. And someone who is wise says, no, that's not sukha, that is dukkha. No, this is sukha. Okay, enjoy. Enjoy your electrical shock. My electricity, yes, enjoy the shock. Disentangle yourself. Non-attachment. Being able to step back and do the action as a pure action. Vishuddha karma. Nishkama karma. Not a sakamya karma. We are always doing sakamya. There's a lot of karma in our karma. Sakamya karma. Our actions are filled with desire, filled with attachment. And if you are filled with attachment for your action, you have to bear the repercussion of that action, positive or negative. Karma, Shukla, Krishnam. So it will be Shukla or Krishna depending on your attachment. But because the yogi is not attached, it's Ashukla or Krishna. So the yogi is one who can move in the world but not be caught up in the world. They are moving in the world like King Janaka, the great Raja Rishi. King Janaka he was moving in the world. He was a king. Yet he was a yogi because he was not bound to the world. Can you be in the world but not be of the world? Can your actions be actions that are pure actions without any attachment to it? Yadahi nendriyarteshu na karmasu anushajjate. And then sarva sankalpa samnyasi. You have given up all your desires, all your thoughts, everything. And you have become one with the universe. You are going with the flow of the universe. You're not having your own separate puddle. You are the ocean. This is why you are doing yoga. You are yoga. There should be no division. Because when there's a division, you say, oh, I'm doing my yoga for health. I am doing yoga for my diabetes. I am doing yoga to make my wife love me. I am doing yoga so my husband will love me. I am doing yoga so that my children will also do. I am doing yoga because I'll get paid for it. You know, what has happened is all sakamya. It is all your small puddle yoga. New variation, invented today. Puddle yoga, my puddle yoga. Huh? Kids jumping in the puddle and saying, this is my puddle, that is your puddle. Huh? My yoga, your yoga. We need to come out of the puddle and swim in the ocean. We need to come out of our bathtub yoga and come into the oceanic yoga. Yoga is the ocean. This is why when we talk about keeping the torch of yoga alive, keeping that light bright, the most important thing we need to do is we need to become yoga. Because as long as we are thinking, I am doing yoga, there is separation, there is a viyoga. When you say my yoga practice, there is already a viyoga. Because there is no mai. Mai is maya. The mai of maya is what we are all caught up in. And so people will have goat yoga, bear yoga, donkey yoga, monkey yoga. All this will come. My father used to say, yoga is yoga is yoga. It doesn't need a prefix, it doesn't need a suffix. It is an ocean. It's like the waters don't need to be called Atlantic or Pacific. The waters don't care. You think the Atlantic Ocean, when it meets the Pacific, says, hello, Mr. Pacific, how are you? And Pacific says, nice to meet you, Mrs. Atlantic. The waters don't care. You think the Asiatic continent tells the North American continent, hello, Mr. America. No. There is a sense of oneness. That oneness is what yoga is all about. And that is why when we want to stand up for yoga, we are not saying, oh, I'm standing up for yoga. What we are saying is, yoga is the ocean. Why do you want to divide it? Yoga is the ocean. Why do you want to claim ownership over it? Yoga is the ocean. Why do you want to put it in a box? You take the water of the ocean and put it in this. I take the water of the ocean and put it in this. What do I get? I get a bottle of water. This is just a bottle of water. This is no longer the ocean. And my bottle is better than your bottle, and my bottle is steel and your bottle is plastic, and my bottle is eco-friendly and yours is not. To hell with all of that. I'm sorry. You have put the ocean in a bottle and then you are saying, this is the bottle. Copyrighted, patented, trademarked. One practical advice my father used to give everyone. In our tradition, there's a lot of emphasis on sipping water. And that is why we say you can easily find a student of our tradition. They'll carry a water bottle wherever they go. So in Pondicherry, if you see any foreigners walking down Pondicherry with a water bottle, most probably it will be a student of our ashram. If you see them with a yoga mat on the back, it's not a student of our ashram. Huh? Many people, when I'm traveling, they're like, oh, you are a yoga master, where is your yoga mat? I say, I don't need a yoga mat. I am my yoga mat. I am my yoga mat. Because wherever I am, that is where my yoga is. I don't need a separate yoga mat for yoga. I am my yoga mat. I am me yoga mataha. Like we say, I am me hasto Bhagavan, I am me Bhagavan. Huh? I am me yoga mataha. In those days, it was the kusha mat. Nowadays, it's a plastic rubber mat. People say, I don't have a yoga mat. How can I do yoga? I'm like, seriously? If you're doing yoga depends on a yoga mat, you have put the ocean in your bottle. Wherever you are, yoga is there. Because the ocean expansive. My father used to say, whenever you go to a new place, when people are traveling, he said, when you go to a new place, the first thing you should do, if possible, if there's an ocean, a sea, a lake, a river, go and jump in the water. He said, go and jump in the water, have a good bath. Because he says, the moment you go and jump in that water, your body fluids, and remember, we are about 70%, more than 70% water. We think we are solid. We are about 70% water. This planet is 70% water. The surface of the planet, 70% water. Our body is about 70% water. When you go and have a bath in the lake, the river, the ocean, the sea, and if none of that is there, go to the bathroom and have a nice bath in the water in the bathroom. He said, the moment you have a bath, your body fluids and the liquid, the water of that area, that geographical location, they start to attune with each other, and you have created a harmonious balance wherever you are. You have created a harmonious balance wherever you are. By attuning your body fluids, water in a bottle, water in you. The water in you is being attuned to the water body of that locality, that area. Similarly, the yoga that is in us, our practice, our yoga abhyasa of asana, pranayama, mudra, bandha, kriya, dhyana, it is like whenever we are doing the practice, we are attuning ourselves, the yoga in us, with the yoga of the universe itself. The yoga of the universe already exists. The ocean already exists. We are attuning to it by our practice. When we do the asana, pranayama, mudra, bandha, dhyana, we are attuning ourselves. We are reconnecting with the universal yoga herself, which is why if we want to keep the torch of yoga burning bright, we need our own personal sadhana. How do you keep that fire burning bright? By keeping your sadhana burning bright. And your sadhana is not just the 1 hour you do on the yoga mat. Remember, I said we are our own yoga mat, which means wherever this body goes, yoga should be there. When you are eating, you should be eating in a yogic way. When you are sleeping, you should be sleeping in a yogic way. When you are thinking, you should be thinking in a yogic way. What is yogic thinking? Yogic thinking is clear, rational thinking, unattached. Nishkama chintana. Nishkama chintana is what you want. But we are always in sakamya chintana. No wonder we are such a muddled up mind, because it's always sakamya. What will I get? See, a non-yogi, the bogi, the ayogi, when they go someplace, when they meet somebody, the first question that comes in their mind is, what can I get? This is the non-yogic thinking. What can I get? The yogic thinking is, what can I give? If you can develop the yoga bhavana, the yoga bhavana is the capacity. Remember? Bhavana, bhavanani. So there's a lot of bhavana in bhavanani. So if you put it as bhavanani, it has a lot of bhavana. And ani, as in Marathi, and I think it means. So there's a lot of and bhavana. A lot of bhavana coming through in bhavanani. And if you keep it as bhavanani, bhavan means home, abode, where you stay, where you reside. And what is home? A place where you are at ease with yourself. So the Bhavanani part of me is at ease wherever I am. And the Bhavanani part of me is always in lot of Bhavana. The Yoga Bhavana is one of giving. You meet somebody, immediately you should be thinking, how can I assist that person in becoming a better version of themselves? You go to a place, your thought is, how can I make this place a better place for everyone? How can I create samatvam? Because yoga is samatvam. Samatvam yoga uchyate. How can I create harmony wherever I am? How can I create balance wherever I am? How can I create equality wherever I am? People have asked me questions recently to talk about yoga and equality and all these issues that are coming up now. Horrendous inequality on this planet. Horrendous inequality. And is that also coming into yoga? When my parents started the Ananda Ashram at Pondicherry in 1968, the most important contribution they did, and both of them, my father and mother, the greatest yogic duo of the past century, the yogic team of the past century. The greatest contribution they did is not all the books they wrote, not all the courses they ran. The greatest contribution was that the young children of Pondicherry were given yoga. The young children of Pondicherry were given yoga, and thousands of young children received yoga training in Bharatanatyam, the classical dance, South Indian music, were given food. We had a swimming pool. They learned swimming. With me, they learned tree climbing and catching monkeys. That was my contribution as a child to all of that. And all of this was given to thousands and thousands of young children, absolutely free, without any distinction whether you belong to any part of society or any type of family or any economic division. In our yoga class on Sunday, where there would be 1,000 kids in class, my mother would be teaching. There would be children who were children of beggars off the street, kids living on the street. There would be kids whose fathers were pulling the rickshaws, human rickshaws that still in Pondicherry are a tourist attraction. People actually riding the rickshaw where you can sit in the back. Now it's only a tourist attraction. Kids whose families didn't have fathers, didn't have parents. And kids who came from the higher aspects of society, the children of pandits, the children of businessmen, the child of the Inspector General of Police used to come to class on Sunday. You had all of these kids receiving yoga in the same class. Nobody was denied yoga if they couldn't pay for it, because nobody was charged for it. Nobody was denied yoga depending on only any human division, because they are young children, and young children are pure. It is us as a society who teach children to look at differences. Oh, that is a different family. That person, you shouldn't mix with this person. We teach the children. The children don't have distinction. Yoga doesn't have distinction. And the greatest contribution Ammaji and Swamiji did was in all of these thousands of young children who received the yoga training. You say, did they all become Maharishis? No, they all haven't become Maharishis, because that was not the goal. The Sri Kamali Swami Yoga and Fine Arts program, which then became Yoganjali Natyalayam in 1993 and continues now into its 29th year. The program was not aimed at creating yogis. The program was aimed at creating good human beings. The program was aimed at creating noble human beings who could be fulfilling their dharma as a human being, Manushya Dharma, people who could become the best human being they could be and serve society. And today, those thousands of kids are all around the world. Some of them are teaching yoga, dance, and music. But wherever they are, whether they are the Assistant Commissioner of Income Tax in Delhi, yes, one of them is in Delhi as Assistant Commissioner Income Tax. And no, I never asked him to help me with my income tax. No, because if I ask him, I am going against the basic tenet of yoga, which is not about what you can get, but what you can give. People who are in police, one of the superintendents of police now, in charge of traffic here, he was one of our students. And when the policeman stopped me the other day for not wearing a mask while driving alone in the car, I explained to the policeman my perspective. I didn't say I'll take the phone and call up my student who's the SP of police and give you a memo. No, no, no. That would be anti-yoga. If I'm talking about standing up for yoga, if I'm talking about keeping the torch of light of yoga going, how can I then do something that is not yogic? How can I think something that is not yogic? How can I say something that is not yogic? Because then I'm going against my own Divine Mother Yoga. How can I go against my Divine Mother Yoga? When we realize yoga is our Divine Mother, we start to love her. This is why what I tell Ammaji, I say, I have known you as a son loves his mother. I have known you as a student loves the teacher. And now I know you as my living God. And as a devotee loves the God. And yesterday she said, maybe because you think so. I said, yeah, I think so. And she said, I told her, I said, I will not tell you a lie. You know that I will not lie to you as a son to the mother. You know that. She said, yes, I know you won't lie. When your mother can have the confidence that you will not lie to her, that is very important. Our Divine Mother Yoga should have the confidence that we will not lie to her. We will not be false to her. We will have gratitude, respect, and love for her. And we will share her teachings without any limitation. Yoga unlimited. I say yoga public unlimited. Compared to most companies which are private limited. I say yoga is public unlimited. Leave public. Yoga universal unlimited. That would be how yoga should be registered. Yoga universal unlimited. Now it doesn't mean you don't say that I am teaching and my teacher taught me this and this is how our tradition teaches. Nothing wrong in that. Because you are giving a framework. You are giving a framework, not claiming something, but giving a framework for understanding. When I say Maharishi Patanjali has said this, it is a framework for understanding. Because Maharishi Patanjali did not claim copyright. Even Krishna doesn't claim copyright. He says these are universal teachings that are Puradana, timeless teachings. I am only giving you, Arjuna. He is not saying I am giving you the teaching now. He says these are timeless teachings I am telling you. These are universal teachings I am sharing with you. Krishna is giving Arjuna a framework, a scope of practice. You are giving a scope of practice when you say this is Patanjala Yoga Darshana. This is a scope of practice. This is the Hatha Yoga of Swatmarama. This is a scope of practice. But when you start to say, whatever yoga trademark, nobody else should practice it without paying me. Now, some years back, one of our students in the UK, an Indian student who had benefited a lot from one of our teachers from Kalavati. He is originally from Maharashtra. He said, Dr. Ananda, you are teaching without any limitation. You are sharing unconditionally. He said, but there is a danger of the misuse of these teachings if people don't know the source. And so he said, I would like to gift you a trademark on the term Gitananda Yoga. And so he went through the procedure of Gitananda Yoga trademark and again trademarking the ICYR logo. He said, these two things, please let me trademark for you as a gift. Not for you to go and tell people, oh, you are using my trademark, pay me a penalty, I'm taking you to court. Not for that. But he said, these teachings are so pure, we should have a protective mechanism for to prevent their misuse. And the way he presented it, I said, okay, Pa, Neeraj, I appreciate this and we will do it. Because I have to qualify this, because if you look at our logo, on the logo, there'll be a small TM. And the TM is there as a protection against its misuse for the future. I am not, till now, I have not written anybody saying, oh, why are you using that term? Why are you? I'm fine. But to prevent its misuse. Because remember, ahimsa is a misunderstood concept of yoga. Ahimsa is the first rule of yoga. In our culture, we say ahimsa paramo dharma. The highest dharma is ahimsa. I say in modern medicine also, the first rule is do no harm. Nowadays, there's a lot of controversy going on. The controversy is an individualistic controversy. It is not a controversy between yoga and allopathy or allopathy and Ayurveda. Please do not think it is a controversy between systems. It is an individual's controversy, and now in order to get some more support, it's becoming a bigger thing. I am a proud member of the Indian Medical Association. I'm a proud member of the Indian Yoga Association. And for me, both coexist in my mind and heart without any compromise. I have no issues at all. But people are fighting individual battle. I say that in our areas here, same thing in Maharashtra also, because I lived in Maharashtra for 5 years doing my MBBS at Varda in Nagpur University. So I also understand the background of Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu and other places. Two small kids will be playing cricket together. And when they are playing, they'll get into a fight. Now the fight is between these two kids who are playing cricket. Now this kid will go home and tell his father. That father will go and bring his whole society. And then suddenly it will become religion-based, caste-based, all this group, and they'll start all fighting with each other. A fight that had nothing to do with caste, nothing to do with religion, nothing to do with community, nothing to do with political patronage, suddenly becomes a fight which will go all the way up to Delhi. A fight between two kids playing cricket. Now, if you understand that, you'll understand what has happened with this controversy, nothing else. This controversy is like that. So many of my friends in IMA, because I have all my medical friends, they are asking me question. My yoga friends are asking me question, and I say, for me, this is a non-controversy because it is an individual's issue. This is not about yoga and Ayurveda versus allopathy. For me, all of these systems are working together. We are working them together. We are seeing the benefit of integration of yoga and modern medicine. Amazing benefits for patient care and for the society transformation. So coming back, a few closing words at this point is that if we want to keep the torch of yoga burning bright, we need to become yoga. We need to understand the connection between us as an individual and yoga as the ocean. And we have to connect ourselves with yoga. When we connect ourselves with yoga, we keep the fire burning bright. When we disconnect, yoga is still burning bright, but we have disconnected. The sun is there, but we think it is dark. When we connect, we realize the sun is always there. The energy source is always there. And we need to make it very clear that yoga without its culture is a body without a soul. And you can practice Jada yoga, dead body yoga, and that is okay. But if you want living yoga, you need the soul, and the soul is the culture, the connection to the culture. And this culture is a culture that is Sanatana, that is eternal, and based on the principle of Dharma. Dharma is doing the right thing at the right time for the right person in the right way. When you are doing the right thing for the right person in the right way at the right time, it is Dharma. Doing the right thing for the wrong person is not Dharma. Doing the right thing for the right person at the wrong time is also not Dharma. All the pieces have to come together. Doing the right thing for the right person at the right time in the right way. That is what Dharma is. And same thing with yoga. When we keep the context, and the context is a cultural context. When we keep the context, yoga burns bright. And that burning bright is in our heart. So I think I will conclude this part of this morning's session. And Udayji had asked me to lead you through a pranayama today. And the pranayama I'm choosing is a pranayama called Pranava Pranayama, the Pranav. And the Pranav is a very important pranayama in our tradition because it attunes us to the cosmos. I've been talking of attuning ourselves to yoga. How do you connect? What is the password? Connect with us. The password is the Pranava. So whenever you want to connect, when I wanted to come into Zoom today, it said, what is your password? 077909. I said 077. It should have been 007 because always it's like James Bond. People say, are you Guru? I say, I'm not the Guru. I'm the Guru's agent, not 7. Huh? And then I say, not 7 sounds too makeup. So I say, Guru's agent 108. The Guru agent 108 is a nice way to identify how I think. When we want to connect, the Pranava is a very good way. And normally people do it as a Om Japa. That is the common way people do it. In our tradition, my father and Guru Swami Geetananda has made it a pranayama where we use the nada, a sound based, using the sound of A, U and M. Akara, making the sound of A. It is a basal sound. The akara. We then bring the lips together and make the ukara. And then the lips come together in the makara. Open mouth. Puckered lips. And closed lips. When we do the akara, we are working with the sthula sharira, the gross existence. When we do the ukara nada, we are connecting to the sukshma sharira, the subtle existence. And when we do the makara, we are connecting to the causal existence. Sthula, sukshma and karana are coming together into oneness through the pranava. So initially we'll be doing 3 rounds of the akara nada. When we do this, we focus on the lower part of the lungs, the adama. We then do 3 rounds of the ukara nada in the madhyama, the middle part of the lungs. And then we do the 3 rounds of the makara nada in the adhyama, which is the upper part of the lungs, the clavicular region. And then we bring it all together, low, mid, and high, by making the Omkara nada, where it becomes the A, U, Ma, all 3 coming together to create A plus U becomes O plus becomes Om. So how is the Omkara Nada created? By the Akara and Ukara becoming the Okara, and that joining with the Makara to creating Omkara. So all of this coming together. When we do the Akara Nada, we use the Chin Mudra. Chin Mudra is where the thumb and the tip of the index finger come together. The other three fingers are kept aligned. So this is the Chin Mudra, the Mudra of consciousness. The Ukara Nada, we bring the fingers together. So the Chin Mudra becomes Chin Maya Mudra. This is to Maya. Maya means to bind. Annamaya, Pranamaya. Maya means to bind. So Chin Maya. Chin Maya Mudra is for Madhyam Pranayama and to work on the Ukara Nada. And then we bring the thumb inside, closing the fingers around it in what is called Adi Mudra. Remember, Adi means the causal, the highest. Some people call it God. And where is that? It is hidden in the sensory world. So the causal is hidden. That's why it's called Adi Mudra. Chin Mudra, Chin Maya Mudra, Adi Mudra. And then the Adi Mudra of both hands are brought together at the navel. And at the navel, these two are brought together so that the knuckles, you bring them close together like this. Okay, and this is kept at the navel, the nabi, because the navel center is connecting us to the cosmos. So you have the two Adi Mudras and they are connected together at the nabi. I'm putting it up here just so that you can see on the screen, but the nabi is down here, okay? So these are coming together like this. And then it gets the name Brahma Mudra. Okay, so we will go through this and just join in wherever you are. You can keep your mics muted so that you are making the sound, but you are hearing it. Otherwise, from different computers at different speeds, if it comes, it will be very difficult, okay? Let us perform Chin Mudra, placing it on the thighs, breathing out, focusing on the lower part of the lungs. Breathing in and breathing out with the sound. Again, taking in a deep breath, lower part of the lungs. Once more, breathing in. Let the vibration of the Akara Nada flow throughout your body. When we are performing the Akara Nada, we are working on the Sthula Sharira, the gross existence. Just attuning to its existence. Now the second part, bringing the Chin Mudra into Chin Maya Mudra. Placing both the Chin Maya Mudra on your lap, we are going to breathe into the mid part of the lungs. Okay, breathing out, breathing in. Breathing in. Breathing in. Sitting quietly and just enjoying the vibration you have educed from within yourself. The Ukaranada is connecting to the Sukshma Sharira, a subtle existence. And just enjoy your enhanced awareness of the subtle existence through this. Now the third part, Adi Mudra, bringing the thumbs into the center of the palm, closing the other fingers around it, and bringing it down onto your thighs, focusing on the upper part of the lungs, and breathing out, breathing in, breathing in, breathing in, just enjoy the beautiful vibrations that are now enhancing your awareness of the Karana Sharira, the causal existence. Attuning ourselves to that causal existence at the highest level of subtlety, the Karana Sharira. To complete this practice, the fourth part, bringing both the Adi Mudras together, placing them knuckle to knuckle at your Nabi, the navel. We are going to be breathing in low, mid, high, and then breathing out with the Akara, Ukara, and Makara. Breathing out, breathing in low, mid, high. Breathing in low, mid, high. Once more, breathing in. Just sitting quietly. Enjoy the beautiful vibration set up in your own self, connecting to the gross, subtle and causal aspects of our existence. The Sthula, Sukshma and Karana Shariras becoming a reality through our expanded awareness. Connecting us as an individual to the cosmos connecting ourselves to the source, creating balance and equilibrium at all levels of existence. The vibrational essence of Ishvara is the Pranava, says Maharishi Patanjali. Tasya vachakaha pranavaha. And its repeated utterance, tad japaha, should be with tadartha bhavanam, understanding the meaning and with feeling. The bhavana has to be there, and the artha, the meaning, should also be there. Through the pranava pranayama, enhancing our connection to the cosmos, expanding out of the individuality and manifesting the higher universality, boundless universality. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om. Just to give you a taste of the pranava, when it is done as a sadhana, the pranava sadhana can help us totally connect to the cosmos. And we move from being an individual to becoming a cosmic being. Because we are not body having a spiritual experience, we are a spirit having a bodily experience. And this helps us to truly connect to that boundless, infinite cosmos. So with that, I hand over to Uday ji and Sheetal ji for taking it forward. Such a pleasure to be with you, and anything you would like to have clarifications or any doubts, we'll have a few moments and take it forward. Thank you so much. Dhanyavada.
So I am unmuted, I suppose. Am I audible?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I have a small gift for you, and which I have already sent you over the net, but you can have a look at some of the paintings which are.
Wow. Wow. Beautiful.
These
Good.
are the 5 paintings. All
Beautiful.
those who are attending the session now, these are the 5 paintings I have sent over the net to Balayogi ji as a gift. And these are typically single stroke watercolor paintings, which eventually we will sort of post them by courier. But I thought the time was so less that you can have a look at it on your own screen on the basic computers or cell phone. Okay. I have a small.
I thank Madam for this beautiful artistry.
Yeah.
You are an amazing artist, ma'am, and I'm just I'm blown away by your beautiful skill. So thank you for manifesting that beauty through your artistic skill. Namaste.
The biggest surprise for me, I don't know whether you're aware of this, my teacher did not teach me just yoga, but he saw to it that he gave me a girl in marriage also. So she was proposed by my teacher, and it took almost a month. Things were going round and decision was not happening. That's the only girl proposal that came, and I said yes. Okay, that is the story. So my teacher saw to it that I learn yoga and see to that I happily live a married life with a wonderful painter like her. So, what a guru can do to you is simply phenomenal and fantastic.
You're so happy. So
I'm
happy.
now going to introduce you to some of our fellow beings who are regular with us. You know some of your own people very well. So Mayank is a newcomer to my group. We do a lot of chatting every day. He's part of our 52-week program. Then we have two Kendriya Vidyalaya pals who are right now attending. One is Niroji from Canada. I've mentioned that. And the one who could not complete the program after second schedule module, she has stopped coming, is Raman. She's also Kendriya Vidyalaya product from the same school that I did my schooling in Kolaba. Okay. So I will now quickly rush through some of my people. Here is Srikant Joshi, who is my childhood friend. He knows that I have been a kind of a peculiar person, not just now, since the year 1963. Okay, so I was a happy-go-lucky person. Then you have Swati Pansare, who has met you. Maybe she has not got introduced, is now living in Goa and teaching yoga in Goa. And we pray that she joins me back here because 10 years she was with me. Then we have Pingreji here, who was an engineer, is slightly injured and not at present very active. We have, I did not able to get, this is Neeruji there, yeah, good. So she's again a Kendriya Vidyalaya and Kaivalya Dham product. Your own daughter is there, so good morning. We have, this is this person here. Able to get. Okay, Garpareji, two of you are there. Okay. Now, this is a very interesting couple. I must introduce you. Be on the screen properly, because unless I talk of love, the definition of love began with them. They are the witness that I have been teaching since 1976. Okay. His father-in-law was a science and a maths teacher in Sanjeevan Vidyalaya in Panchgani. And they are the three generations who possibly accidentally learned yoga with me. His wife, and their daughter, his father-in-law, everybody. Then we have Pansare Junior. I think he's almost 80 plus. He's attending. He has recovered from COVID and has joined us. This is Nina. Well, this is your Ramandeep Kaur, who was there for 2 weeks, two modules, but was not able to go ahead further. Who else is there? Sanjeev. Radha ji is there in US. Manzari ji, you have not put on. This is another interesting girl from Pune, but right now in, I think, Delhi or somewhere, maybe Jabalpur, preparing herself for Indian Administrative Service, Vikalpa. Then you're not put your screen on. Gangadhar ji is another assistant of mine. I don't know why people have not put their cameras on. Okay. So I'm not able to sort of formally introduce you. So there you are. I think Bandari ji is here. He is an engineer and in the field of construction. Here is one of my students from Germany, Monica Sate, who has been following me for last 30, 35 years. It's an accident in my life and in her life. She was thrown out of Iyengar because they said, no, unless you have done our course in other countries and you are a certified person, we cannot admit you. So she was just looking around, she found my board and is now very much there. So she says, I'm so happy that I was thrown out from there. Okay. Then this Lord Krishna is an authority on various Vedas. He has learned Upanishads, recited our Stavan in the morning. He's a retired individual. I'm not able to get this name here. I'm not sure.
Excuse me, Pensej sir, have you joined with two gadgets? There is a lot of echo coming.
Not able to get you, Jain sir. Can you just speak up so that you are lighted? Jain sir.
Shall I go ahead?
Yes, I'm not able to see you.
See, you have given me a very difficult task
No.
to propose vote of thanks to Yogacharya Dr. Ananda Balayogi Ji is the most difficult thing to do this morning. You see, I've you met him in 2018. I have met him twice in the program that was being held at in Pune. At means once in the this our Yashoda, that program I met him, and I was greatly impressed by the speech he gave, by the discourse that I had. And today also he kept us spellbound. And I would say that it is not so very easy to follow whatever he has said, but we have to try. When he says that he is a great guide and he is a great guru, when he has mentioned that I will not repeat whatever he has said, but he says that be out of a puddle of yoga. Yoga is not a puddle, and then it is an ocean. And then when you are in ocean, it is something that you have to be really very, see what you are doing. And I am really grateful to you, sir, for such a lucid and spellbound session that we had with you. We are so lucky. And I must thank Pendseji to invite you and give us the opportunity to be more or less face-to-face. Virtually also face-to-face. It's means not person to person or face to face. And I must tell you that we are so lucky. And the very truth that you mentioned, that we can't take anything with us when we go. And why this aham? Aham kis liye hai ye? So means, and the very first thing in yoga, as you mentioned, is this I would say is a wholesome perspective. Yoga is wholesome perspective, and everybody is a yogi in it. Means once we remove all that whatever is around us. So I must thank you, sir. It was a great morning to listen to you, be face to face with you, and thanks to Pendseji for arranging this session, and also Sheetalji, who has been really doing great work as far as arranging Zoom sessions are concerned. Thank you very much, sir. Have a great day. प्रभु की कृपा सब पर बनी रहे। ये कोरोना से जो इस वक्त तबाही मची हुई है, उससे सबको छुटकारा मिले। Yoga is one of those things which definitely can help us and doing it. Thank you so much. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपका।
You have Anandji on spotlight.
Balayogi sir.
Yes.
Balayogi sir, can I have a small question? Can I have just small question?
Yes,
Once.
please. Yes, please.
Yeah. Sir, myself, Shailesh Lahoti, we are connected on Facebook. I'm a session. You have given a wonderful session. Just this uma is there. Generally, people, there is some confusion, or but you have told about So can you just elaborate just a little bit basically difference this uma is okay or like why and not because there is difference of opinions basically.
Yeah, you see, basically the idea is the akara is the so the akara has to be an which is the first of the sound. All languages start with the Every language, the base of language of sound is the akara. In our Tamil scripture, Tirukural, it is said, Agara Mudala Yezhuthellam, that just as the is the first of all letters in alphabet, the divine is the first of everything in the universe. So it is an Now when the comes together with the U, it becomes the O. So the O is the product of akara and ukara coming together. This is how the sandhi rules go. For example, one of the asana that is practiced is paschima uttana. So uttana means to stretch. Paschima is the back or the west. Paschima uttana. Paschima ends with the sound a. Uttana starts with the sound u. When they come together, it becomes Paschimo Tana. Paschimo Tana. The mo, what is the creation of the sound mo? The ma plus the u. So the a plus the u becoming o. Similarly, another asana, pada utana, where you are stretching the feet. Pada utana becomes padotana. Pada utana becomes padotana. Paschima utana becomes paschimotana. Similarly, the first component is the a, the akara, which is the base, the foundation. U is the middle, and is the adi, the causal. So between the foundation, the base, it's like bu, buva, swa. The bu is a, the swa is the ma, and in between the bu, buva is the u. So just like bu, buva, swa, we have the a, u, ma, and the a plus u, when it comes together, becomes o. So when we want to understand the pranava as its components, sthula, sukshma, karana, we need the akara, ukara, makara. But when we want to understand the pranava as one unit, it becomes the omkara. So both are coexisting depending on our understanding. So I hope that answers your question.
So, sir, it is a or a. So, sir, it is a or a when we are, ucharan. Okay. 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 Sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Gratitude.
Two more things. There's one, Mr. I have sent a video of stick yoga yesterday. This girl is with me here. She's Alfia Attar, and she's doing final year BMS, and she's doing wonderful practice, and she will come out with some more videos very soon. Then we had another person who is our member, who is Anil Kumarji Barnechaji. He's an agriculturist by profession and grows mainly fruits, and is about 25 kilometers or 50 kilometers towards Nagar. Actually, I think that comes in Nagar district, or I'm not too sure about the districts. So with this, and we have Anuradha Ji Joshi, I think, attending all the way. I'm not too sure whether she is seen there or who it is. It is Tejasvi, madam, my mentor, who is now certified that I can teach. Yeah. Can we have you, my dear mentor, Tejasvi, madam? You are my mentor, and you gave a certificate that I happen to teach yoga. Yeah. So.
I'm a very small. I'm a very small in front of all these big guns. So it's just a role, but
We are all fishes in the ocean. We are all
yeah.
fishes in the ocean.
I'm a very small, a tiny one.
Okay. The tiniest one is always like it. Okay, sir. Thanks a lot. I think everybody has enjoyed it. And can we go through Anand Balayogi ji, that who, ha, me, as a closing thing and say goodbye?
We will. I just also wanted to thank each and every one of you for making today special by being here. So many of you from different parts of the world. I see Bharata, Aishwarya, Asha, Niru, Mayank, and so many of the others from Pondicherry, and of course Divya made sure that she is part of this session today, and my dear Appu and Meena in USA. So very nice that all of you have made the effort to be here. And if you are not here, this would not be happening, because me sitting in front of a computer talking to myself would not be such fun. So having you all in front of me, face to face, in the Zoom room is so beautiful. And as Udayji has requested, we will end with the ha he he. Again, another yoga practice to just let go of all the tensions. Okay, so join me as we go through it. Ha 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 ha, ho 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 ho, ho 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 ho, ho 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 ho, he 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 he, he 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 he, he 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 he, me 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 me, me 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 me, me 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 me, de 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 de, de 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 de, de 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 de, go 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 go, go go go. Go 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 go, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, ha 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 ha, ho 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 ho, ho 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 ho, ho 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 ho, he 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 he, he 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 he, he 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 he, me 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 me, me 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 me, me 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 me, de 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 de, de 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 de, de 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 de, go 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 go. And with that, you throw away all your tensions, all your negativities, all the stuff that is sticking to us. And with that beautiful saucham, that shuddham, now we have a very beautiful vishuddhatma. Let us have a wonderful day with this purity of mind, spirit, in word, in action, and in our life itself. Dhanyavada.
Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, so I think some of you who can remain there for a few minutes can very much be there. If you have time, what about you? Sheetal madam, are you available for some time?
Yes, I'm there.
Sir, I'm also.
Sir, should I stop recording now?
Yeah, you can stop recording, yeah.